Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. So today, a few new weapons have just been released for Infinite Warfare. And today, I'm going to be going over both of the new weapons that were just added. I'm going to be sort of telling you how to unlock them. I'm also going to be sort of analyzing what they do. And I'm also going to be reviewing them, like how good they are in the multiplayer mode. So hopefully you guys find this video useful. This is also a part 1 and a part 2 video, in a two-part video series. This is part 1 in a two-part video series. Part 2 will be telling you guys about the best class setups for these guns. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. The first part, of course, is going up right now, but also the second part is going to be going up tomorrow. I don't know when, but it's going to go up sometime tomorrow. Hopefully I won't forget to make it. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, leave a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys after the intro. So Infinite Warfare just added 2 new guns to the game, the VPR and the X-Eon, or the X-Eon. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to unlock them, what they do, and if they're good or not. So first of all, let's start off with the X-Eon or the X-Eon. This can either be earned through the Season Pass, so if you have the Season Pass, you already have this, or through a challenge or a supply drop. So, like I said, if you already have the Season Pass, then go ahead, play around with it. But if you want to grind out the challenge or earn it through the supply drop, I'm going to teach you a few things. Well, I'm not going to teach you a few things about the supply drop bit, but I am going to teach you how to do it through the challenge. So the challenge is to complete 15 matches while getting 6 kills in each match with a different weapon for each kill. So that means in each of the 15 matches you play, you have to get 6 kills, and each of those 6 kills has to be with a different weapon. Now, that might seem like a fairly difficult challenge, but don't worry, it's actually very easy. Just go into Gun Game and get 6 kills with it in Gun Game, with whatever you have in Gun Game. You see, in Gun Game, if you've never heard of it, basically, every time you get a kill, you get a new gun. Your gun swaps, you get a new gun. So if you get 6 kills in gun games, that means you automatically get 6 kills with different weapons, since you're getting 6 different kills with different weapons, since each kill gives you a new gun. So that's actually a very easy challenge. You just basically have to play 15 gun game matches where you get 6 kills with the different guns. It's fairly easy. It took me a very short amount of time to do that. Now for the VPR, it's a bit harder. So for the VPR, you actually have to have the X-Eon first. You have to earn the X-Eon first to be able to do the challenge for the VPR. And I don't know why, but you just do. And basically for that one, you have to win 15 matches, and in each of those matches you have to earn at least 1 kill with the X-Eon. So yes, winning matches is a bit harder than just completing them. You're gonna have to work hard to actually win them. You can't just lose a match but you still get the bonus for it. You actually have to win the match and get at least 1 kill with the X-Eon. So yeah, that's going to take a bit longer, it's going to take a bit more effort to do, and honestly, I really don't think it's worth it, and I'll get into that a bit later in the video. Of course, for the VPR, you can also earn it through the Season Pass or through a supply drop like I did. So let's get into what each weapon does. Starting off with the X-Eon, it is a full auto energy assault rifle, but the cool thing about it is that it has a very small hipfire reticle, meaning that your hipfire will be extremely accurate with this gun, meaning that you can probably hit sort of medium range targets without even aiming down the sights, which is fairly impressive. Now, in hardcore, I found this particularly useful since I ran into a lot of close quarter situations, and I didn't really have to spend the time to aim down my sights. I just pulled the trigger and they died. And in core, it's still kind of useful, but it's not really as useful as the health is a bit higher and they'll probably shoot you first. But however, that's not the only gimmick that this gun has. It also has integrated optics, which provide basically when an enemy is within the optics point of view, it will highlight the enemy just like a Trojan sight. So basically, the integrated optics for this thing are basically a Trojan sight. Of course, they look different, but they basically do the exact same thing as a Trojan sight. So that's extremely useful since you don't have to grind out your weapon level just to get the Trojan sight. You automatically get it right away. The VPR also has two different gimmicks. It's a SMG, it's just a normal generic ballistic SMG with dual barrels and dual magazines. Now, I didn't find either of these gimmicks particularly useful, actually. So the dual barrels basically mean it'll fire 2 bullets at the same time. It kind of has a similar effect as the Warfighter combat rig, how he has that sort of rapid fire shotgun. It's basically got the same sort of effect as that, of course, to a much smaller scale. Sorry, not a much larger scale. A much smaller scale. It will still have a bit of spread, but it won't be nearly as bad as the Warfighter rig. And honestly, I didn't really find this particularly useful. I just found it just as useful as a normal SMG. Honestly, like, it felt like just a generic ballistic SMG. I didn't really notice the dual barrels, of course, except for the spread every now and then. Also, it does have dual magazines, like I said, and this can be useful sometimes. What that means is it basically just has extended mags built into the gun, and this can be useful sometimes as you really don't need to reload as often. But with how fast this gun shoots, I didn't really notice it too much. I felt the clip size was rather pretty much the same as just average. It's basically just an average clip size, even though like it's dual mags. With how fast this thing fires, you'll probably just run out of bullets as fast as you would with the X-Eon, honestly. So as for reviewing each gun, I thought that the X-Eon was fairly average, although, like I said, in hip fire occasions and the, of course, medium to long range aim down sights occasions, it can be useful. The damage, the accuracy, and stuff like that is actually fairly average. Its recoil is a bit lower than in a few other guns, but like I said, if you're trying to kill someone from long range, it's not going to be too effective. It's mainly effective at medium to short range. Now, the VPR is really only effective at short ranges, and it's not really even that effective at that range. Its damage is really low, and even though it has a very high fire rate, it still doesn't really, pack a punch against the enemies. It takes a little bit to kill them, especially in core. It's going to take you a while. So honestly, I didn't really find this gun the VPR particularly useful, especially if it's a primary. Like, as a secondary, it might be a fairly useful secondary weapon, but as a primary, it is absolutely useless. If you can activate the primary gunfighter for your secondary, definitely it might be useful for being a secondary, but as a primary, do not use the VPR. The X-Eon is definitely a very good primary though, and it's definitely a worthy but balanced addition to the Infinite Warfare loadout. So yeah, that's basically... Oh wait, actually, before I actually end this, I kind of want to sum up my things. So basically, the X-Eon, average weapon, VPR, terrible weapon. On a scale of 1 to 10, the VPR, I'd probably would give either a 5. I'd probably give it probably a 6 out of 10 if you're using it as a secondary, a 4 out of 10 if you're using it as a primary. Do not use this thing as a primary. It is underpowered at the moment. But the X-Eon, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. It's a fairly average weapon, but it's, of course, increased hip fire and integrated optics do actually help out a lot in a lot of occasions. So yeah, guys, like I said, that's the end of the video. Hopefully you guys learned how to unlock both of these guns, and hopefully you guys know a bit more about each gun that you didn't before. So hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, leave a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.